I hear so often artists just don't want to be promoting their music. They want to spend time on their music. And to be honest, I kind of get it. That's not what you signed up for. But imagine being able to just release music and then the Spotify algorithm picks up your track immediately. You have release radar from your Spotify followers and therefore can guarantee a number of streams. And you're going to get picked up by editorial playlists. Therefore, you don't have to do any of that promotion. You don't have to create social media content, hire a marketing company, and feel like every single release you've got to do some kind of strategy and spend time pushing out your music to get any form of streams. Well, that is actually possible if you treat Spotify in the right way. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what you can do to get to that stage. And everything is going to be legitimate. It's not going to be random streams from random locations. Because to be honest, firstly, I want to say that if you are an artist who has less than 1,000 streams, then I actually applaud you. I commend you on your position, because that means that you have not gone and hired a stupid marketing company who thinks that they are going to help you, but actually all they're really doing is sending botted streams your way and ruining or wasting your career by making you think you're at a different stage in your career than you actually are. So what you've done is you're waiting for things to pick up organically, and I know that when you're in that situation, it's horrendous because you don't feel like you're moving. You feel like you're at ground level, but you're not, because your growth is exponential when things actually do start happening for you. So if you are doing everything organically, it is going to be slow, and then eventually things are going to pick up at a pace that you could not imagine. And we speak to distributors all of the time, because at the moment we are partnering with major distributors to be able to help artists identify how to actually grow their music and look at the back end of the statistics to know when artists are going to start to pop off, and identify what creates that perfect ingredient or recipe for an artist to suddenly grow. And one thing that we have noticed is what stops them, and that is when it's clearly botted streams. So if you've randomly been getting streams from the likes of Mexico City, Bogota, Colombia, Jakarta, Istanbul, Helsinki, these are hotspots to be looking out for. So if you need to start questioning your marketing company if they are solely getting you streams from these locations. And the consequences of getting this wrong are huge. Because firstly, if you search on Google, Reddit, artists are getting their music taken down all of the time now. Marketing companies are openly saying that they are complaining to distributors, saying, why are you taking my clients' music down? Well, it's obvious why, because you're botting their streams. And that is why we've never had a problem with this. We've never ever had an artist's profile or track taken down ever. And that's no coincidence, because everything we do is legitimate, and these poor marketing companies don't even know that what they're doing is outsourcing to playlist pitching companies, to these submission platforms, and they think that because they think the other companies are legitimate, therefore what they're doing is legitimate, and it's just an endless cycle. And now even distributors are fining artists for having artificial streams. And not only that, if that doesn't happen, you're going to get no algorithmic pickup. You're going to get pushed out to all of the wrong countries. You are also going to have completely the wrong related artists, because you've ended up being associated with all of these other botted artists. Therefore, you're all just sharing the same playlist, and you get pushed out to the same bots and other bots that you haven't even been pushed out to by the fake companies. It's getting incredibly messy, incredibly complicated. And once this happens to you, there's no going back. Spotify aren't going to notice that you have artificial streams and then on your next release put you on an editorial playlist, or allow the algorithm to push out your track beyond the botted accounts. So therefore, it is more important than it has ever been to make sure that you are doing everything legitimate. And from the playlist's point of view, there is no consequence to them. Absolutely none whatsoever. They just might remove the playlist eventually, and that's it. I don't know why Spotify is targeting the artists and not just deleting the playlist in which they're coming from. Spotify are doing something about it now where you can submit the playlist that you have been added to and you think they are getting you botted streams. If you can do that early, then the chances are Spotify will leave you alone because you've got yourself removed from the playlist and therefore saying, it wasn't me, I don't want these streams, stop these streams coming through. So I'll link that down below so you can click it, and any streams that you think might not be legitimate, you can get rid of them now and make sure you stay on Spotify's good side and don't have that black mark against your name. And now you have to get wise to who you are working with if you are going to work with a marketing company. And what one red flag we've noticed is a lot of companies are saying that they can pitch to Spotify editors directly. That is not true. Spotify laid off a huge amount of editors in the last couple of years, and now they only take pictures from distributors and labels. Therefore, us as a marketing company, we used to pitch directly to the editors and communicate with Spotify. Not anymore. We don't pitch tracks directly to Spotify. We can help you with your Spotify for Artists submission. We can tell you what Spotify are looking for, but we no longer will send your track to an editor, and no other company can do it as well. We've heard from the source and we know that it's not possible. So if a company is saying, I'm pitching your track to Spotify editors directly, they are lying to you. And therefore, do not trust them, because if they're lying to you about that, that means they are lying to you about everything else that they're doing behind the scenes. So you need to use your common sense, look at the playlist you're on, how many unheard of artists are on those playlists. Then ask yourself, how is this playlist getting streams? So what you can do is look at the TikTok ads library and the Meta or Facebook ads library, and then put the profile name in of that playlist, and you can see all of the ads that they are running. If they are running ads to that playlist, it's a pretty safe bet that it is legitimate. However, be careful, make sure they are not cheaping out on where they are targeting those streams. Don't go for the cheap streams. You want the algorithm to push you out in the right places. You don't want to be going into countries that you're never going to tour. If your target is USA, UK, Europe, Canada, Australia, that's where you want your streams to be coming from. Otherwise, you will get stuck in a country where you're never going to tour and you're never going to get those dedicated fans. Finally, this is the key point. If you want to do it yourself and you want to make sure it's legitimate, then create your own Spotify playlists and run ads to them. That's what we do as a company now. If an artist comes to us and they say, I want more streams on my track, then what we will do is we will create playlists dedicated to their genre of music, run ads to the countries that they want to target and the people that they want to target, and you can do exactly the same as well. Therefore, you can spend £1 a day, or you can spend £100 a day. Any budget, you can do it. So what we do is just that on a bigger scale. Therefore, it is much more cost effective for the artist. $30 a month, $50 a month on your promotion. That is the best and most effective way to promote your music. Some agencies now are saying that, oh, we'll do Spotify ads for you. Spotify ads are crap. It does not promote an unheard of artist. So you've got different kinds of ads. You've got those ads that go to non-premium users of Spotify, which personally I think is pointless, because if you're going to be a dedicated music fan, you're going to pay for Spotify. You don't want fans who aren't willing to even pay to listen to music that they enjoy. Secondly, those pop-up ads, you've got to be a recognized artist to get the cost per click down enough compared to having your own playlists. So we end up seeing as much as $5 a stream from those ads, because if it pops up and you want to listen to music on Spotify and a random artist pops up, you're just going to get rid of it and click the dismiss button and decide to listen to a playlist. If an agency wants to run those ads, I don't see the point. That is going to be very costly and you're not going to get the streams. And finally, focus on countries outside of your region, but you still want to necessarily grow an audience there, because we have heard of artists where the algorithm and Spotify themselves keeps them in a bubble. Specifically, we've heard a lot of artists from Australia where they end up getting stuck in that country and in that algorithm, because that is where the Spotify algorithm thinks that their fans are, not realizing that potentially people in UK, Europe, Canada, America are also going to be fans of their music. So we do recommend spreading it out. I know that some strategies do involve in having a more condensed geographical location, but we don't want you to get stuck there from an algorithm perspective. So therefore, if you are running ads to your own playlist, then you need to spread it across the world in potential countries that are going to be fans of your music. We will be creating a video on how to set up Spotify players for yourself, how to get as cheap as possible cost per stream and make your marketing as effective as possible. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe if you want to see that video and make sure that you see it when it comes up. But if you want to go away now and make your own playlist, I do recommend the most effective playlists are, you want the genre in the title of the playlist, make it very obvious the genre of that playlist, because if it's too broad, then we find that people don't click. Also, an emotion attached to the title of the playlist. So how that playlist is going to make you feel, whether it's going to motivate you, whether it's going to make you feel emotional, or it's going to accompany some kind of sadness, or whether you want to chill out for the evening, or or you want more energy in the morning. Those types of playlists we found to get the best cost per stream over something like the best rock songs of the last 10 years or something like that, or a particular geographical location. They tend to be quite expensive as well. But I'll be covering all of that in a future video. So hope you found this one useful. Drop it a like if you have and subscribe if you're not already.